We're live.
I have no juice. Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz. He is Grindberg. I am bigz. It's a starts and sit show. Let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz. I am bigz. He is Grindberg. This is the Fantasy Football Advice Network on YouTube and FSAN, and that's Fantasy Sports Advice Network, in case you didn't know, and Twitter or something. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. It's the starts and sit show. We're chilling. We're just kicking back. I'm watching Thursday Night Football, Jets and the Patriots, and a head-to-head showdown. And we've got our starts and sits of the week. I didn't even know that we were rolling, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to come up with some bit to start the show off with and some energy and stuff like that. And I'm like, I got nothing. Just like Jacoby Brissett on that throw. All right, let's get it kicked off. First of all, like and subscribe, hit the bell, do all of the things that get the algorithm going. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at BigBonedFFB. He's at FFConnect99. Download the FSAN app if you haven't already. Get in there, start talking to us and stuff like that. First down, Braylon Allen. All right, and my first start of the week is going to come after Grindberg does his.
All right, I can start it off tonight. I don't mind that.
The show sheet goes.
All right, I'm going to start it off then. Let's go. Okay. Oh, it is me. Wow. Who freaking puts these things together? I guess it's me. I don't know.
You do.
Whatever.
So you put yourself first. Let's see how it goes.
Whatever, man. I'm not. All right, bigz. Don't be like that. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about a wide receiver that I think you like. I think you got me on him this offseason a little bit, and again, my buddy bigz shows me the way, shows me the light on a guy, and I'm going to talk about Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and I think he had a pivotal moment last week for the Seahawks, not just for the team, but especially for JSN. In a thrilling 23-20 overtime victory against the Patriots, JSN showcased his talent by catching 12 out of 16 targets for 117 yards and a touchdown. This performance highlighted his ability to be reliable and explosive, racking up 41 yards after the catch and nearly 170 total air yards. With such a strong showing, JSN is not just a potential star. He's someone you want in your starting lineup. And I think some of that actually had to do with obviously Kenneth Walker not being in the game, but I think he's going to miss another one here. And another key reason for JSN's breakout is the new offensive scheme under coordinator Ryan Grubb. Grubb has made it clear that integrating JSN into the game plan is a top priority, resulting in a career-high 16 targets last week. This strategic shift in offensive design indicates that JSN is now a focal point in that offense, which bodes well for him in continuing involvement moving forward. Teams are adjusting, and they're, tag teaming DK Metcalf, and now it's opening up more opportunity for JSN. And I think after his week 2 performance, his increased role in the offense, and I think this favorable matchup against the Dolphins provides excellent opportunity for JSN to shine. So he's a lock-in start for me this week. bigz, who do you got as your number one?
Well, I did want to ask real quick because looking over the numbers, diving into the analysis, it looks like Miami's offense allows 35 yards per game below average. Their defense allows 35 passing yards per game below average. They tend to funnel the run to the tune of 85%, and they are sixth. They allow the sixth fewest fantasy points to wide receivers. So I just wanted to know where your favorable matchup comes from.
because they are favorable for speedy wide receivers, and JSN is speedy, and I think he's going to open up down the middle there. I think it's going to go well
slot
for
numbers.
Yes.
All right. I need to get into my slot numbers. Not the macro. I need to dig into the micro. All right.
The micro.
My big start this week is a tandem. It's a twofer. I'm giving you a twofer. Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, the New Orleans Saints, wheels up. Derek Carr and Clint Kubiak's offense. You had a huge game out of Alvin Kamara last week. So, guess what's going to happen, you think? Or what's most likely to happen? They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles defense, who are pretty good against the run game. But they allow the 30th most points in fantasy to wide receivers. So it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be another 40-point game for the New Orleans Saints, and you need to have Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed in your lineups.
Yeah, I have Shaheed as a must start too. Yeah, absolutely. I like that matchup. I think Derek Carr's looked great.
Hey,
I'm gonna get in.
Give me another one.
All right, I'm gonna go with Jared Goff.
I like his Nevada boys.
He's had a rough start to the season, underperforming in his first two games against the Rams and Buccaneers, averaging just 11 fantasy points per game. But given expectations for those matchups are potential shootouts, it's been disappointing stretch for Goff and fantasy managers alike. However, week 3 presents a golden opportunity for a turnaround as the Lions face the Cardinals, a game projected to be a high scoring total of 52.5 points with a favorable matchup and a history of bouncing back after loss. I think Goff is primed for a breakout performance this week, and I think he's going to have a really good spot to have his best game of the year. Looking back at last season, he demonstrated the capabilities of becoming a top-tier quarterback. He got that extension. I just think he needed some time to get things settled in, and I think this offense is starting to kind of gel a little bit more. Goff's performance in indoor games is a significant advantage. I know he's on the road, but I still think he's going to be there this week. It's now or never, I think, for this offense. They need to kind of come around, and this is a great matchup for them, in my opinion. So Goff is set to deliver, I think, given his impressive track record in dome games. Only adds to this appeal. So I'm confident that Goff is going to have a bounce back week this week.
I don't know if you know this, but we were both born in the same town.
Me and you?
No, me and Jared Goff.
Oh yeah, of course I knew that, Biggs.
I know you knew that.
I thought you were my long lost brother.
No, we don't even look alike. You're tripping. All right. My next start is DeAndre Swift. I'm not huge on Chicago Bears running the ball. I wasn't big on DeAndre Swift in fantasy at all. I don't think I own a share among them, but they have a fantastic matchup this week against the Indianapolis Colts, who hemorrhage yards against the running game. And in fact, when we dig a little bit deeper into the numbers, we've got 24th worst defense against the run. They allow the 24th most 24th most points against fantasy points against running backs. 7th most. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. They allow a lot of points to running backs, and it's going to be a smash game for DeAndre Swift because it's not going to be Roshan Johnson.
Fair enough.
Hey, if you want to find us in the community that we're building, where would you go?
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.
Yeah, good idea. Hey,
let's do it.
let's do some sits, shall we?
Yeah, let's get into some sits. Do you want me to start us off, Biggs?
No, I want to start.
Go.
Should I start now?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Houston Texans are playing in a game against the Minnesota Vikings, who allow 33 yards per game less than the average, and also are 10th. So they're ranked 22nd. 20. They. My brain cannot process this chart anymore. I've been doing so good. They're top 10 in allowing fantasy points, the least amount of fantasy points against running backs, and we have Joe Mixon hurt. So their options are Cam Akers and Dameon Pierce. If I'm the defensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Stack the box. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to be able to have much room to run in the Houston offense. And guess what? CJ Stroud doesn't need it because he's going to be peppering the ball down the field to his wide receivers and Dalton Schultz. And so whether I went, okay, full disclosure, I went and picked up Cam Akers today. There are a couple of lineups that I have that was necessary, and it's the first time in my fantasy life in Cam Akers' career that I've ever owned him, and I have to start him. But if you have other options, do not. You bench that fool.
You bench him.
Yeah.
Get him out. Get him out of your lineup.
Get him out of there.
All right, he's been pulled. All right, so I'm going to pull a guy out of my lineup, or try to at least. I know it's hard to pull a running back out of your lineup at this stage, but Aaron Jones finds himself in a very precarious situation here for fantasy gamers after a lackluster performance against the 49ers, where he only rushed for just 32 yards on 9 carries and he fumbled the ball. His stock is trending downward. Adding to the concern, Jones was seen shaking off what appeared to be a rib injury after the game, which forced him to seek medical attention. With the potential of limited touches and health issues looming, this is not the week to start that. Compounding Jones's struggle is the rise of Ty Chandler, who's not only outpaced him in carries, but also averaged a stellar 7.8 yards per carry against the 49ers. Chandler's emergence as a viable option in the backfield could further reduce Jones's opportunity. The Vikings offense is in disarray with several key players with the unknown status right now. We're not sure what's happening with Jordan Addison. Jefferson left the game last week banged up, and TJ Hawkinson still isn't there. So, they're going to have to rely on the ground game. So I think that, they're going to be targeting Jones in this game. So I just think that with his struggles, with the way that things have happened at 29 years old, I just think that with the emergence of Ty Chandler, that Aaron Jones is just a set for me this week.
Yep. After last year, I had lost all faith that I had ever in Aaron Jones, and he was an impossible roster for me. You were in some of those leagues. All right. My next sit. Hey, Schultze.
Hey.
Why am I sitting all Jacksonville wide receivers this week?
Because the Jaguars make me sad.
That's basically it. Thanks, Schultze. Yeah. Stop making Schultze sad, you guys. Jacksonville Jaguars are playing against the Buffalo Bills, who allow minus 55 yards in the passing game above or below average, which is the best pass defense in all of the National Football League. In addition, the Buffalo defense is ranked number 3 in points against wide receivers. Trevor Lawrence is somehow we were high on him. We were very, very bullish on Trevor Lawrence.
Were we ever?
Season. And he's having an absolutely terrible start to the season. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas Jr., they're going to have a rough week. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So it could be a nice volume play, but in one league, which is an experts league with some super, super sharp people, I drafted all three of those wide receivers and Trevor Lawrence. And over the last couple of weeks, I've had to make adjustments. I'm still sitting atop of the Dukes Classic, but not because I have Trevor Lawrence, Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas Jr., Christian Kirk. I'll tell you that much. Or Evan Ingram. So, I'm sitting all Jacksonville wide receivers this week.
Yeah, me too. And I'm going to just elaborate on that because I had Christian Kirk as my sit of the week here. So I'm just going to elaborate even further on what bigz had just said there because, I'm all in on that situation. Christian Kirk in general has struggled mightily to start this season. And this week, I believe it's wise to sit him specifically out of that Jacksonville wide receiver group. Through 2 games, Kirk has only managed 2 receptions for a mere 29 yards, which is alarming given last season he had only 2 games with fewer than 29 yards total. His lack of production and particularly concerning considering that he was expected to be a key player for the Jaguars passing attack, which is, such a disappointment since the numbers. We were all really high on, like we talked about, Trevor Lawrence. Big said it already. If Lawrence struggles still persist on, it's likely Kirk will remain a non-factor, with the emergence of Brian Thomas Jr. as well. And, Evan Ingram, a little banged up here, could see a little bit more action there for Kirk, but I just don't see it happening this week with the matchup. So, bigz and I, not high on these Jaguars wide receivers. And sorry, Schultz, we're picking on you here this week.
So you know what's going to happen, right?
They're going off.
They're going to go out there, and Trevor Lawrence is going to throw 10 touchdowns, 3 to Gabe Davis, 3 to Brian Thomas Jr., 3 to Christian Kirk, and 1 to what's his name? Who's that other guy, Schultze? What's his name? Brenton
Strange.
No, Parker Washington. That's what I was thinking of. Parker Washington. Parker Washington's going to catch one, and they're going to put 70 points on the Bills. So, that's the way it works.
Hello.
Is that about it? We're done.
Yeah, I think we're done, man. Yeah, I think we've started and we sat some guys, and I think we've had some pretty good hot streaks lately, and let's keep it up, bigz. Let's keep that hot streak going.
Absolutely.
And
like when I called Malik Neighbors wide receiver 3 last week, and Corey gave me crap for it on FSN. And guess what happened? Where did Malik Neighbors land? Wide receiver 3. Yeah, you're looking at the 120th ranked Fantasy Pros ranker. So it's good. There's some people who I'm ahead of that I follow real closely. I'm not going to name names. Anyway, go ahead and check out our waiver wire show if you need some people to pick up. We just posted that on Tuesday. On Friday or Saturday, we're going to have our injury report. And then Sunday, catch me breakfast with bigz at 7:50-ish, 8 a.m. Pacific time, so 11 on the East Coast. But we don't talk about Central. Come have breakfast with bigz. I think I'm going to have some special guests this week. I've been told, but also I was told that I was safe in Fantasy Football Survivor and I got blindsided. So I don't know who or what to believe anymore, but some people are going to be on camera with breakfast, I heard. So come check that out over on YouTube, Fantasy Football Advice Network, on FSAN, on Twitter. It's breakfast with bigz, and I'll take all of your starts and sits questions that weren't addressed in here, or go more specific on the ones that we were talking about today. So how's that sound?
Sounds great. We get 3 minutes of bigz plugging his show, and we'll end it off with me just saying goodbye to everybody.
I can keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the bigz show. So I'll peace out, and we'll have a great night. We hope you win, folks.
We hope you win.